Imagine this. You wake up, hospital bed, totally alone. The power's off and the silence is just heavy,
Yeah, unnerving.
And you finally get yourself outside and the world you knew, it's just vanished. Not slowly, not changing subtly, just gone. Like a ghost town. Trash everywhere, old newspapers yelling, evacuation.
That's such a powerful opening.
It really is. That's the gut punch start to 28 days later.
Mm-hmm. The start of it all, the genesis of the chaos. It's horrifyingly simple, but so effective. It kicks off in a research lab in Cambridge.
Right. With animal activists, their intentions might have been, arguably good, but their methods, disastrous.
Totally disastrous. They break in, targeting these monkeys being tested with this highly contagious disease called RAGE, apt name.
And there's this desperate doctor pleading with them, don't do it. But one activist, convinced they're right, opens a cage.
And the consequence is immediate, terrifying. She gets bitten, starts vomiting blood almost instantly, and then it's like dominoes, boom, boom, boom. Everyone's infected. The rage is out.
Just unleashed.
And then the film does this brilliant jump forward 28 days later.
Which is where we meet Jim, Cillian Murphy's character, waking from a coma, abandoned London hospital. The desolation hits you right away.
It really does. Inside, it's a wreck trash. Phone's off hooks. Then he goes outside, and London. Wow. Empty streets, no cars, no noise. Just those awful evacuation headlines everywhere.
So eerie. He's looking for anyone, anything, and wanders into a church, finds this pile of bodies, calls out, hello.
Yeah, and then two of those bodies just rise up, blank stares.
Yeah.
Horrifying.
And just as he's processing that, an infected priest bursts in, and all three just relentlessly chase him out.
And this is where the film makes a big, defining move. These aren't your classic, slow, shuffling zombies. Not at all.
No way.
They're people infected with rage. They're not dead. They're incredibly fast, aggressive, just pure, focused violence. It's key to the film's unique terror.
That speed changes everything, doesn't it? It amps up the tension like crazy.
Completely. So Jim's running, looks like he's done for, and then these two figures appear, saving it with Molotov cocktails. Selena and Mark.
Our first survivors. They've clearly figured some things out.
Right. And they immediately lay down the rules. Strict rules. Any contact with infected blood touch, ingestion, whatever means immediate infection, period.
No gray areas? No? Maybe I'll be okay.
None. It establishes this brutal pragmatism right away. Survival is paramount.
So Jim's safe for the moment, but his first thought is his parents. He has to find them.
Yeah, that human connection. He manages to get to their house, but finds them dead, holding his picture. It's just heartbreaking.
Such a gut punch. A personal loss in this massive catastrophe where there's no time to grieve, really.
They stay the night there, and Jim has this brief, fragile moment. He lights candles, finds some food.
And he daydreams, doesn't he? Imagines his parents coming home, just for a second.
Yeah, a fleeting bit of normalcy. But it doesn't last. The candlelight attracts the infected outside.
Of course it does. They break in, attack him. Selena and Mark rush in. There's this messy, bloody fight.
And in the chaos, Mark gets bitten.
And this is another one of those defining moments. Selena, she doesn't hesitate, does she?
Not for a split second. She kills Mark immediately to stop him from turning. It's brutal, shocking, but it hammers home the reality. Survival overrides everything.
You just see Jim's world cracking right there. The rules are real, and they are unforgiving.
Absolutely visceral. They leave the house, wandering London again, hope just draining away. But then they see it.
Christmas lights on an apartment balcony high up.
Yeah, just this tiny flicker, but it's a sign. Other survivors. Hope.
A new goal. They have to get there. They climb this crazy barricade of shopping carts, infected chasing them up the stairs.
And they're saved again. This time by Frank, a guy in SWAT gear, and his daughter Hannah. They live in that apartment building. Temporary safety, at least.
And Frank's got a radio. He's trying to find information.
Exactly. And he picks up this military broadcast. Survivors should head to a blockade in Manchester. Shelter, safety.
So that's the new plan. Manchester. A real destination, maybe real safety.
He gives them purpose again.
Yeah.
But the journey there, it's rough. They have to drive through this horrifying tunnel filled with abandoned cars, bodies.
Oh, that tunnel scene is intense.
And then they get a flat tire right after. While Frank's changing it, infected start closing in. Super tense.
They barely make it out. And later, there's that stop at the gas station. Jim has to kill an infected kid.
Yeah, another piece of innocence just gone. Shows the brutal choices you have to make.
So they finally reach Manchester, clinging to this hope.
Only to find it burning, destroyed, no sign of the military blockade, just devastation. Frank is crushed.
Utterly despondent, and then the worst kind of freak accident happens.
Right. He's looking around, shoos away this crow, and a single drop of infected blood from a dead crow hanging nearby falls right into his eye.
Oh, God. It's so sudden, so random.
And the transformation is terrifyingly fast. He barely warns Hannah before the rage takes him. Soldiers suddenly arrive just then and shoot him.
Just like that, Frank's gone. And the soldiers take Jim, Selena, and Hannah
To their hideout, this sort of secluded mansion. At first, it almost feels like, okay, maybe this is it. Safety, Major West, the soldiers, a sense of order.
A false sense, though. Major West shows Jim this experiment they're running. Mailer, one of their own soldiers, infected and chained up in the courtyard.
Yeah, West claims they're timing how long it takes for an infected to starve. Sounds almost logical, in a grim way. But it feels wrong immediately, using a life like that.
Definitely raises red flags, and it sets up the real horror of the place.
Exactly. The film builds that hope that maybe humanity can band together and then just rips it away. During dinner, while infected are actually attacking the compound outside.
The truth comes out.
Major West tells Jim his plan. At 9 days earlier, with his men losing hope, he promised them women to rebuild.
Meaning Selena and Hannah, they weren't rescued, they were acquired.
Precisely. The soldiers are the real monsters here, or at least just as monstrous. The threat shifts from the mindless infected outside to the calculated cruelty inside.
Human cruelty. And Jim realizes they have to get out now. He tries to warn Selena and Hannah, tries to escape.
Oh, he gets caught. Knocked out.
They drag him off to execute him in the woods, but he manages to escape. Chaos ensues.
He gets away, circles back to the mansion, and does something pretty extreme himself.
He frees Mailer.
Yep. Shoots the chain. Unleashes the infected soldier inside the compound. Mailer immediately attacks the soldiers, infecting them, and they turn on each other. Absolute mayhem.
Jim basically uses the infection as a weapon against his human captors. It's a dark turn for him.
It is. The mansion erupts. Hannah's hiding. Jim has this brutal fight with one soldier, gouges his eyes out, saves Selena.
And Selena almost attacks him, thinking he's infected in the confusion. Shows how thin that line becomes.
They scramble for a car, but Major West appears, shoots Jim.
Looks like it's over, but then Hannah. She's incredible.
She is. She slams the car in reverse, pulls it back just enough so Mailer can grab West out of the car window.
And Mailer finishes him off. Hannah saves them, crashes through the compound fence, and they're out, free.
And then another time jump. 28 more days later.
A complete contrast. Beautiful green valley, a big house, Jim, Selena, Hannah, seemingly safe. Then a fighter jet flies over.
They scramble, lay out these big cloth letters on the ground. H-E-L-L-O.
And the jet seems to see them. They start dancing, celebrating potential rescue. A new beginning. That's the main theatrical ending, right? A glimmer of hope.
It is.